to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Ron Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schweim.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Let me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schweim.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schweim right here on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. We continue the Memorial Weekend celebration as we remember those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms and died for the country in the service of the country. We remember them today. And good morning, Danny Ryan. We got half of the youth movement in here today.
Yeah, we're missing Andrew right now. Missing Andrew a little bit, but we got half the youth movement. Nice to be here with you, Billy.
Hey, Danny. Yesterday we had the Beach Patrol report. We had a great start off to the kickoff to the Memorial Weekend. We also, the Phillies are in Atlanta, and wow, how about that? I mean, going in, you would say, hey, I would welcome a split. But
100%.
We win tonight. We take 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall task tonight. We talked a little bit before the show. I mean, Spencer Strider, we obviously teed off on him in the playoffs, but he's still one of the best young pitchers in baseball. So they have Dylan Covey on the mound, not quite matching the talent level of Spencer Strider or the Phillies, but hey, they've really come across. I mean, just yesterday alone, Zach Wheeler, I think he went 8 innings. Shutout ball. I mean, allowed
106 pitches,
allowed 3 hits,
right.
12 strikeouts. Pardon me. He was absolutely shoving. So if you can get half of that performance today from Dylan Covey, then
of
might have a
course
chance.
Last night, so I take my daughter to the boardwalk. I have to take her to the boardwalk.
It's MDW. You have to. Yeah.
I was out in the night air, so I'm kind of losing my voice. The last night I rushed home because I wanted to get to see that Celtics Heat game, praying that the Heat would eliminate the Celtics. I get home and I see a Heat team that looked like it was all discombobulated. Jimmy Butler was not having a good night. Adebayo wasn't having a good night. The Celtics looked like they had stifling defense. And then they come back with like a minute to go. They tie it up and take the lead.
It's crazy.
Now, did you see
I did. I didn't
Jimmy
watch
Butler
it live.
gets 3, not 2. He gets fouled. Taking a 3-point shot, his feet were like an inch from the line.
He went 5 for 21 from the field. I mean, he still had 24 points.
But you know what it takes to have that pressure?
Yeah.
Think about this. 3 shots, you're down by 2. 3 shots wins the game. He hits all 3.
Yeah. It's huge. I mean,
ice water running through his veins.
He went 5 for 21, like I said, but 12 for 14 from the line. So he was very efficient from the line, and he made up in other areas when he had to. But
did you see the look? You didn't get this. Did you see it or no? You were working. Did you? See
I didn't see the game in its
Did
entirety.
you see the look on his face? Obviously very concerned. Very, I want to say, nervous, but that look that I'm going to win this game.
Yeah.
And he did it. Like to me, that was so impressive to me.
Yeah, I mean, you had to do that if you were, you just overall. Jimmy Butler, he came up a little bit short, and he keeps talking about it after every game. We're going to win this series. We're going to win it. We're going to go in there and win it. I don't know if they are, though. I mean, you gave them all of the momentum. When it was 3-1, it was like, okay, they snagged a game, whatever. 3-2, okay. They're a good team. They're going to get 1 or 2 games, but now it's tied up. You're going to Game 7 after having a 3-0 lead. This is dangerous territory for the Heat. I mean, you could have one of, if not the all-time collapse in NBA history.
It's never happened. It's down 3-0 to go to the championship.
I'm pretty sure
never happened.
I'm pretty sure the stat is that teams that are down 3-0 in a series are 0-150.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And then the second hour of the show today, so we'll talk Philly, we'll talk Celtics, Heat. At the bottom of the hour, we have Tommy Greene on the mound with Tommy Greene, brought to you by the John R Elliott Hero Campaign for designated drivers. And then hour 2, we got a very special guest that's going to join us today. I don't know if you know this, Dan. You're not a sure kind of guy. Surfing is like
no, it is.
You get up any morning when there's waves and you get on the strand or you ride the boardwalk. All you see is heads bobbing in the water. There's tons of surfers out.
Yeah.
My brother Bobby and I surfed growing up. My brother's still in the water today. His twin boys, Colin and Cody, surf.
Yeah.
We have Ben Gravy on, local surfing sensation from Longport.
Last video got 384,000 views on YouTube.
He's a YouTube sensation.
He's awesome. I'm excited to talk to him and just pick his brain, not only about surfing in general, but just like really the mentality of the sport. I mean, it's such a difficult thing to do to actually successfully surf.
Yeah.
From somebody who's tried and failed multiple times. It's very tough to do that consistently.
It looks a lot easier than it is. Let's put it that way.
And when you catch that first wave, you're like, wow, this is addicting. I need to do it 17 more times.
Exactly.
And you're lucky if you can do it 2 more times.
So we have Ben Gravy. We'll have him in the studio with us for a whole hour as we remember those who have served our country, paid the ultimate sacrifice so that we can sit here and talk sports today in the studio here on ESPN.
Yeah, thank you, everyone out there. If you're listening, if you served in any form of the military or, just anything. I mean, thank you so much for your service. This weekend goes out to you, and I hope everyone's celebrating it and, just remembering everyone who, like Billy said, paid the ultimate sacrifice.
I talked yesterday, I told the story. I worked at U.S. Airways for 25 years, and when Pat Tillman was killed in action, I put his casket on the plane.
Really?
Up in the because so when service people die overseas, their bodies generally come into Dover Air Force Base, and then they disseminate out to where they belong, where they go. Well, they have to fly on commercial airlines or a freight airline. Well, we moved a lot of them. I see the color guard coming walking up, and I asked one of the guys, like, "What's going on? Who is it?" It's Pat Tillman. I went, "Oh my God!"
What was that like for you?
Well, don't get me. I'll get emotional.
Yeah.
It was pretty difficult, but I felt like I had to do something. I had to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So I went up and tried to talk to his parents and offer my condolences. Couldn't get 2 words out. I was in tears.
Yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking, but at the same time, I feel like it's an honor for you. You know what I mean?
It was a great honor, but I felt so inferior.
Yeah.
So today, with that in mind, Memorial Weekend, Danny, we're gonna have a text board message.
Yes.
A text board question. What is it today?
So we're gonna encourage everyone out there listening, whether you're watching on StreamYard or listening online or the app, whatever. Text in with your athlete, your Philadelphia sports athlete that you would pick to go to war with, that you'd pick to be in a foxhole with, whatever.
On a ship with, someone that you'd like to go to war with. If you had to go to war with somebody, who would it be? A Philadelphia athlete. 609-403-0973 is the text board number. 609-403-0973. What Philadelphia athlete would you go to war with? Would you share a foxhole with?
Yeah.
Would you be on a submarine with?
I think we're going to get a lot of the, Bryce Harpers, Jalen Hurts of the world, but I encourage everyone out there listening to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Because those are the easy picks.
Right.
Let us know. I mean, it could be a former Philadelphia sports athlete as well. We'll even say that.
You can go back as long as, it could be anybody.
There's been a lot of
but it's got to be a Philadelphia sports athlete. 609-403-0973 is the phone, is the text board. 609-403-0973. So last night I go on the bumper cars, I go on the swings. I was out in that night air and I'm losing my voice. So Danny, you're gonna have to help me today.
Yeah, that's how you lost your voice on those bumper cars, all the germs from the kids on the bumper cars.
Yeah, you know what? You don't think about it, but you're touching everything.
Yeah, I'm not getting wiped down too much either.
But if there's one place that I'd go that I know that's safe and clean and the rides are always inspected, it's Playland in Ocean City, because Scott Simpson does a magnificent job keeping that park. It's a Cracker Jack park, man. It's great.
Yeah,
it's clean, it's fun, and the rides are safe. So it's just enjoy it. And it's Memorial Weekend. The beaches were packed, the Strand's packed, the boardwalk's packed. I was driving in today. I stopped by Blitz's, got my newspaper and my 2 water bottles and my juice. So I'm all set, baby. I'm in a 3-point stand.
Isn't it crazy to think that just 3 years ago, if you were to go out on Memorial Day weekend, it would have been empty on the boardwalk because of COVID. Now we've gotten so far to, where we are now. And we talked about, you getting sick from maybe being on the bumper cars. Well, before you could just walk outside and assume you were sick.
Yeah.
It's nice to be outside and, celebrate those who lost their life in action. So.
All right, Danny, we got 2 hours to have a little fun, talk some sports. Let's do it. The first hour in the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing for the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 988-8900, or try the Ocean City office at 609-399-1227. Folks, I'm here to tell you about Lavari's Seafood Bar and Grill, located on Route 50 and Tuckahoe Road in Petersburg. Just 8 minutes over Ocean City's 34th Street Bridge. It's an old school bar, 18 big screen TVs. Daily specials are open every day at 11 a.m., celebrating 15 years in business. When you get down there, say hello to Renee and Kim, the bartenders. Thursday night is wing night. $1 wings, $2.50 domestic drafts, live music every Friday night. Hey, if you want to book a private party, give my good buddy Dave Lavari a call at 609-628-2225. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Danny Ryan on 97.3 ESPN.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN Radio. It's a showdown in the National League East.
Kyle Schwarber, and this place is going bananas.
Kyle Schwarber and the Philadelphia Phillies begin a 10-game road trip in Atlanta when they go head-to-head against the NL East leading Braves. The Philadelphia Phillies at the Atlanta Braves. Coverage begins today at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
This is the play-by-play home of Sunday Night Baseball, exclusively on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot, and you need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Rhymes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime at 609-425-2042. All three-star athletes are looking for a house. They contact Mark Rhymes. Specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Attention thrill seekers and race enthusiasts. Get ready for an adrenaline pumping experience like no other at the annual thrill show at the Atco Dragway in Atco on Jackson Road, Saturday, June 3rd. Bring the whole family for an unforgettable day filled with high-octane entertainment featuring jet trucks, dragsters, funny cars, monster trucks, and monster truck rides. And don't miss the fireworks show finale. Gates open at 3 p.m. and show begins at dusk. Tickets are $25 for adults, and kids 5 through 10 are just $1. For more details, visit atcodragway.rocks.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live with the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim, the producer, the young producer, Danny Ryan with us today. Hey, Danny, we're starting to get a lot of text messages as we remember those who pay the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom on Memorial Weekend rolls on. Here in the locker room, we have a text board question, and we're starting to get a good response. What's the question we're having? It's 619-403-0973, Danny.
Yeah, it's if you had to choose who is the Philadelphia sports athlete, could be high school, could be college, could be professional, that you would go to war with. Could be a current athlete, could be a former athlete. They could no longer be with us.
This is going to be a lot of fun because
It
if you
is.
think about it, there's a lot of good choices over the years, and it could be as far back as as you can remember. It could be somebody from today. 609-403-0973 is the text board number. Let's talk a little Celtics and Heat before we start reading the text messages. And, of course, at the bottom of the first hour, we go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene, brought to you by the John R Elliott Hero Campaign for designated drivers. Tommy Greene would be a bad choice to go to war with.
He would not be. I mean, we talk about it. He's our country boy, man.
Yeah, man. He's straight and narrow. Boy.
I'd go in a foxhole with Tommy Greene. I'll tell you that much.
He's a big boy. He's cut. He's worked out. He's physical. He looks great.
Yeah, I would do. And the good thing about Philadelphia sports is there's so many you can choose from that would be the right answer. Like I said, Jalen Hurts, Bryce Harper, those are the common picks. Those are the ones that come to mind when you think of a guy you'd go to war with. But if you just go down through Philadelphia sports history, there's countless.
Well, since we're going to talk about the Celtics and the Heat, I'd go to war with Jimmy Butler.
I would go to war with Jimmy Butler.
Would you go to war with Jimmy Butler?
Yep.
Even though he played horrible last night, he gets on the line with 3 seconds left in the game, and they're down 2, and he's getting 3 shots.
And he was 2 seconds away.
Now, if you're Al Horford, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking
he fouled him on the you should have just let him take the shot. What was he 5 for what from the field?
He was 5 for 21 from the field.
Why did Al Horford even try to stop it?
I don't know. Al Horford and his sister need to just stop talking.
Just reacted.
Him and his sister need to stop talking. His sister's on Twitter too much. Honestly, weirdly acting like his wife, coming to his defense over every single bad comment about him. So the Horfords need to relax.
And the one guy on the Celtics I go to war with, Marcus Smart.
Yeah, I would.
Right?
He had a okay day from beyond the arc, but I would go to war with him. I mean, he's always hustling. He's always moving.
Yeah.
He's improved over the years. I know it was a few years ago he was rumored to be interested in signing with Philadelphia. Obviously, he'd fit great in the city.
Right,
I'd go to war with him too. But I mean, Jimmy Butler, he was 2.5 seconds away from going to his second NBA Finals appearance, and then Derek White swoops. He just swoops out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
And just puts it back
I want to get to this, Danny. The NBA officiating. Look, we're not Celtics fans and we're not Heat fans. You might be pulling for the Heat like I am. I just want to see a game like as a bystander, an innocent bystander. I just want to see good basketball as just watching the game. Can't I see a good refereed game? The referees stink, and I'm not even a Celtics or Heat fan.
How dare you even ask that question, Billy? No, you can't see an evenly officiated game in the
It's only one.
It's terrible, man. I mean, I even said it during the last series in the semis.
Are they that incompetent, Danny? I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
But are you kidding me?
They are. They are that incompetent. And you already see Eric Lewis being investigated right now in the NBA as being his family are Celtics fans. And they found what they think is a burner account from Eric Lewis defending himself on Twitter. So it's not a great look for him. Not that this is about him, because, there's a lot more officials in the NBA that really mess up. But no, I even said it in the semis when the Sixers played the Celtics. The Sixers and even the Celtics at times were not getting the same calls. Like, the teams weren't getting evenly officiated. Harden would go and get the same contact that Jason Tatum would go down and get. He wouldn't get called. Tatum would get the same contact that Embiid just got a foul called for, and they wouldn't call it. It has to be consistent. They're not being consistent.
It was Jaylen Brown at the end of the game, goes to the basket, uses his elbow to hook. I think it was Adebayo. I'm not sure who it was. Goes up and they call a foul, like a 3-point play. They call a foul on Adebayo. Then they review it. They say it wasn't a foul, but somehow they still got the point. Yeah, and he didn't get the foul. I don't know what rules they were following, but it doesn't pass the eye test.
The thing that baffles me too is sometimes they'll review the call and still get it wrong. Like, how do you take 5 to 10 minutes to review a call, delay the entire momentum of the game, and then still mess it up and have the crowd react the way they do? Happens a lot more in baseball now than it does in basketball, but still, I mean, jeez.
So it comes down to Monday night.
I'm excited.
Who do you want? You want the Heat, right? Or you?
Yeah, I mean,
you don't really care.
No,
I don't want the Celtics.
I want the Heat.
There's something about
There's
something about Jason Tatum I don't like,
and that's why I want the Heat.
I don't like Al Horford.
I don't like Jason Tatum. I like Jaylen Brown.
I like Marcus Smart. Jaylen Brown doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
He's more inconsistent than. Would you say he's a little inconsistent?
I go on the side that, if you look at the stats just from last night, Tatum 8 for 22 from the field, Brown 9 for 16. I think he's a surefire bet of what you're going to get out of Jaylen Brown night in and night out. Now, everyone's going to have their, bad games, off nights, but, I've even gone on the record before to say that I think Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum.
But he was 0 for 4 from the 3-point line.
Tatum was 0 for 8.
Right.
I mean, and that's the thing I wanted to bring up to you, too.
And yet they kill the Sixers.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing I wanted to bring up to you about, just their win last night over the Heat. Tatum was 0 for 8. How do the Heat, on a night where Jason Tatum is 0 for 8 from beyond the arc, let the Celtics win? Well, it's because you fouled Jason Tatum too much. He went 15 for 15 from the free throw line. Yep. It's crazy.
104, 103. They score with like 0.2 of a second. How do you let White come in there and do that?
I mean, that's literally the definition of a guy who's always moving, always looking to make a play on the ball. And even if he's not in a position to score, he finds a way to. So, credit to Derek White. He's been a great pickup for them. Played 42 minutes of solid ball, 11 points, plus 3 out there on the court. He's really been a great role player. And, now he's in the starting lineup. So a great starter for them.
609-403-0973 is the text board. What Philadelphia athlete would you go to war with as we memorialize all the people that sacrificed their lives for our freedoms on Memorial Weekend? That's why we celebrate Memorial Day weekend. 609-403-0973. Who is a Philadelphia athlete that you would go to war with? Do we have a couple you'd like to read?
We've got plenty. First one, Chris Pronger. You're a Philadelphia Flyers
big
fanatic.
Dude, strong dude. Yeah, man.
Next one we got Rasheed Wallace. Never played professionally in
I think he went to
Philadelphia.
Simon Gratz, right?
Played in high school,
Right.
yes. So Rasheed Wallace always was a menace in the NBA.
Or you get the name, people put their names with this?
So the first two didn't put their names.
Please put your name and where you're from.
Yes.
609-403-0973.
Third one is Jeff from Ocean City. As he says, I'd go to war with Jason Kelsey. He's tough as nails, and we'd have a great time as well. And that's pretty accurate.
That's pretty accurate. 609-403-0973 on Memorial Weekend. Who would you go to war with? What Philadelphia athlete would you go to war with?
Real quick before I get to the next one, I want to bring up a story about Jason Kelsey just briefly. Yesterday, you know how Jason Kelsey's a big Sea Isle City guy, big Ocean Drive guy. Somebody I went to college with and high school with actually too. They were on the beach in Sea Isle yesterday, and all of a sudden they look to their left and they see a big guy with a beard who's, if you remember, he just shaved his head recently. He's still kind of bald. He's growing his hair back. And she goes, I think that's Jason Kelsey. And so my buddy's dating her sister. He sends me a picture. He says, Jason Kelsey's just casually on the Sea Isle City beach, but I'm not sure if it's him because he's under the tent in the shade and everything. He gets up. He goes, oh, that's Jason Kelsey.
So a few years ago, and one of our great sponsors, the local gym in Ocean City, Jason Kelsey, Connor Barwin, Vinnie Curry, and Trent Lott. Trent Lott, that's a politician. What's the Trent? My gosh.
Eagle?
Yeah.
I'm blanking
right too. Now. Anyway, they would all work out at the Ocean City local gym.
Really?
Yeah. And Jason Kelsey would lift the bar. He'd have like 4 plates, and the bar would bend.
Oh my
God. Like these guys were like pumping it out. They get a crowd watching.
He is ginormous, dude. Like he's not the tallest
Vinnie
guy,
Curry
obviously.
He was tough too.
Yeah, those guys
Connor
literally.
Barwin.
Connor Barwin's. Yeah.
How about this? How about go to war with Jeremiah Trotter?
Mm-hmm.
Would he be a guy you would go to war with?
How did I not think about this? All right. Ask me right now. Ask me right now.
Who would you go to? What Philadelphia star athlete would you go to war with?
I think there's a lot of right answers, but this might be the unanimous decision. Brian Dawkins. Took the soul out of every offensive player he hit. Brian Dawkins, the soul searcher.
609-403-0973 is the text board. Who would you go to war with? What Philadelphia star athlete would you go to war with? Talking about the Heat and the Celtics, Spoelstra is a great coach. He just comes across like he's a methodical thinker. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. He does. And the thing is, if he blows this 3-0 lead in the Eastern Conference Finals, then he's going to really take a pretty hard beating as far as his legacy goes.
Yeah, but I think because of so many injuries that the Heat have suffered throughout the injuries, throughout the season.
Real quick. I mean, like, I don't want people to like. This is what the problem with this Eastern Conference Final Series. This is a problem I have with it because the Heat have obviously past 3 games not been playing well. The job that Eric Spoelstra did for the first 2 rounds was just remarkable. You can't take that away from him. And this is a guy who's been remarkable for pretty much the entirety of his head coaching career and has never won a Coach of the Year award. Never.
It's
Billy.
amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
He's one of the longest tenured coaches in the NBA right now that hasn't been fired after 2-3 seasons, and he's never won a Coach of the Year award. He's taken a team with a bunch of undrafted players to the Eastern Conference Finals and possibly the Finals as an 8 seed. You can't make it up. So, I mean, he deserves his flowers. I don't want this series to take away from that if they do blow.
I'm pulling for Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler. They're the 2 guys that I'm pulling for.
So am I. And like we said, I don't want the Celtics to win, so I just by default want the Heat to win.
609-403-0973 is the text board. We're looking for what star Philadelphia athlete would you go to war with as we remember those who pay the ultimate sacrifice. It's Memorial Day weekend here. And the Jersey Shore is packed. By the way, you know where I'm going for lunch today?
Where are you going?
I'm getting the best cheesesteak on the island
of
Ocean City. Rendazzo's.
Oh, Rendazzo's Pizza.
Listen, Joe, Rendazzo's Pizza. Yeah. By the way, I can't tell you how many people sing that song.
It's catchy.
Joe and Marianne down there, the owners of Rendazzo's are great people.
Yeah.
But the food is phenomenal. And that's what keeps people coming back for more and more.
Yeah.
But the cheesesteak, they load it up, and you know what Joe puts on there? The habanero.
Really?
It makes it hot.
Nice touch.
But he doesn't know. One time he blew me away. But I told him, hey Joe, just put a little bit on there.
One time you left smoke.
Yeah. Smoke was coming out of my ears. But he puts just the right blend of the habanero. And it's a little lettuce, tomato. I'm telling you, it's to die for.
Getting me hungry over
you
here,
want to come with me?
Maybe.
Joe Pop will take care of us.
Yeah, right.
I got my nephew a job down there.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So it's running in the family now. Yeah. Real quick, do you want to get to a few more of these?
Give me a couple more.
We'll bring Tommy Greene on after this.
Because we got a lot of them.
We do. So we got my roommate, Connor Brown, texting in from Lebanon, New Jersey. He says, Lenny Dykstra.
The dude.
Great Philly.
The dude.
That's a great pick right there.
How about Darren Dalton?
Darren Dalton as well. Rest in peace, Darren Dalton. Yeah. He was obviously
We're going to ask Tommy
great
Greene.
Guy.
I bet you he says Dalton.
Probably. A lot of those guys that play with him, I mean, how could they not say him with the type of character he was? Next one we have is Dan from EHT. My least Philly athlete to go to war with would be
Joel Embiid.
Nope. Take another guess.
Hard.
You're close.
Hard.
So close.
Hard.
Ben Simmons. And then he chooses Jason Kelsey to go to war with. And I'll go through a speed round here. Philly athlete I'd go to war with, Kevin Kolb from Will. And then we got Brian Dawkins, Ian from EHT. That was my pick. That's huge. I mean, how could you not pick him? And then our last one, 110%, LaShawn McCoy. My guy will run through a brick wall. Bobby D from Mays Landing.
Okay, Bobby D, we got you, man. 609-403-0973. Who would you like to go to war with? What Philadelphia star athlete could be from any era?
So many options.
Who would you go to war with? 609-403-0973 is the text word. Make sure you include your name and where you're from. All right, the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or give the Ocean City office a call at 609-399-1227. Hey, there's a new wind blowing at Maserati the Main Line. The all-new Maserati Gregale midsize SUV has officially arrived. Stop by Maserati the Main Line, located in Devon, PA, just minutes away from Center City, Philadelphia, to experience it for yourself. With class-leading space, advanced driving, and technology features, the Gregale makes every journey a thrilling experience. From your daily commute to weekend road trips, the Maserati Gregale elevates every moment into something truly special. Test drive the all-new Gregale for yourself and experience how it makes every day exceptional. Visit them online at motml.com or give them a call at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800. Ask for Michael Pileggi to schedule your test drive today. All right, when we return, we'll go on the mound with Tommy Greene. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Wake up with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
What's your Mount Rushmore of food?
I'll go grapes. I'll go mango.
Ooh, good one.
I love mango.
Whoa, how'd I overlook mango?
I'll go banana. And then I'll go with the classic apple.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Listen weekday morning. Free mobile app.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Calling again, again and again. Calling again, again and again.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
Do you want to get in shape and feel great and look better on the beach? At Local Gym and Fitness, located at 908 Asbury Avenue, you can accomplish your goal. 4 local guys with a passion and experience in fitness wanted to open a gym that delivers a quality, hospitable, clean, and friendly environment. Don't be intimidated. Be a local. Local Gym has the best equipment around with 4 fully loaded Olympic and CrossFit platforms, Jacob's ladders, Stairmasters, bikes, and ergs. Local Gym and Fitness provides quality trainers to lend their expertise with all your training needs. They're open 7 days a week. Memberships are affordable. So be a local at Local Gym and Fitness. Call them today at 609-545-8732 or go online at localgymandfitness.com. I'll see you there.
Ever since we got Xfinity Mobile, the whole family now has the fastest mobile service. My little brother has no idea how lucky he is. Back in my day, we didn't have it nearly as good.
Oh yeah? Back in my day, you couldn't even stream outside the house.
Please, back in my day, we had phones with cords, and they were mounted to a wall.
Forget phones. Back in my day, we wrote letters. Remember, Herman?
Your grandmother would write me pages.
Vintage texting. Cool.
Visit your local Xfinity store today and switch to Xfinity Mobile, the fastest mobile service with 5G and millions of Wi-Fi hotspots. Plus, while you're there, see how you can save up to $700 on an eligible device with qualifying trade-in and device payment plan. Visit XfinityStores.com to find a store near you. Restrictions apply. Requires Xfinity Internet and new Xfinity Mobile line activation. Offer ends 6/5 while supplies last. Comcast analysis of mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data from Ookla Speed Test Intelligence in Q1 2023.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim, the producer Danny Ryan with me today as we're remembering those who laid down, pay the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom so we can talk about sports, we can play sports, and live free. And we continue to talk about what famous Philadelphia star athlete would you go to war with? Would you share a foxhole or be in a submarine in? It's Memorial Weekend. 609-403-0973 is the text board. Send us your athlete. Now I know I'd go to war with Tommy Greene.
Tommy Greene.
He's a stud. And every Sunday we go on the mound with Tommy Greene, brought to you by the John R Elliott Hero Campaign for designated drivers. A longtime partner of the Philadelphia Phillies, reminding you not to drink and drive and to always have a designated driver. Designated hitters win games. Designated drivers save lives. Take the Hero Pledge today at herocampaign.org. And remember to be a hero, be a designated driver. Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome in our good buddy, Tommy Greene. Good morning, T.D. Greene.
Good morning, Billy. Glad to be on with you guys again.
Tommy, as we sit here on Memorial Weekend, you know, the shore resorts are all crowded. Everybody's down here. But we remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. So, you know, you could throw a baseball off the mound and we could sit behind the mics.
Amen, brother. Amen. I mean, this is what this day is about, honoring the people that give us the freedoms that we have.
Now, Tommy Greene, let's get you to participate in our text board question. What Philadelphia athlete or what teammate, let's reduce it to you. What teammate, if you had to go to war with, say like Vietnam or, you know, in a submarine or somewhere, who would you go with?
I'll tell you what, man. I was thinking about. I heard you, you know, coming on what you were saying, and I was thinking about who would I do. And it comes down to two guys. I mean, obviously the first one would be Darren, would be Dutch, Darren Dalton.
I think.
And but there's another guy on that team that I played with. I would definitely have in my foxhole. It would be Dave Hollins.
Dave Hollins, yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
He's a serious foxhole guy.
Hey, Tommy, tell us
between
about
those two. It's hard to pick.
Yeah. Tommy, tell us about Macho Row. Was that trumped up or was that real? Tell us about that.
No, man. I mean, it was legit with those guys down there between Dutch and Head and Inky and Crucky. You know, I mean, it was a gauntlet you had to go through. You know. To earn the right to earn your right there in that clubhouse a little bit. So it was Macho Row. You know, legit, man.
Tommy, let me ask you this question. Jim Fregosi was the manager of that team, and he was a perfect manager for that bunch of guys. But what made Macho Row so, like, what gave it its notoriety? What did they do that got, not just being tough guys, but what did they do to help Jim Fregosi for them to get that name Macho Row?
Well, I mean, to me, it come down to Darren. It come down to Dutch, man. The way he carried himself. I mean, it's like I always tell people says describe Dutch. You know, I said he's a man's man and a woman's dream. You know, type thing. Yeah. So, I mean, he carried himself and he had a presence about him, and it kind of rubbed off on guys. It made guys like that. You know. You carried yourself better. He expected you to be better, you know. So it was type of a macho type of attitude a little bit, you know. But he was a great friend, great person, you know, and he had positive effects on everybody, you know, in that clubhouse.
So the players, Tommy, would be more afraid to upset the guys at Macho Row than the management.
Well, I mean, we held each other accountable, you know, and that's the thing. I always thought the coaches, I was telling Larry Boa the other day, you know, I said, y'all had the easiest job on the planet, you know, as far as having to come to us, there weren't no problems that really got to you. You know, it was handled before it got to that point, you know, between Dutch and the veteran crew there. You know, we were fortunate enough to, you know, you learn how to play the game as young guys the right way, you know, and they learned from the guys before them, like the Larry Boas and, you know, the John Vukovic's and Johnny Padres, the coaches that we had, and Jim Fregosi's, you know, they learned from them, you know, so it never got that far to get to the really coaches. You know, it was handleable for them.
We're talking with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene. We go on the mound with Tommy Greene every Sunday throughout the baseball season, brought to you by the John R Elliott Hero Campaign. Talk about a guy that you want to go in a foxhole with. How about the performance yesterday of Zach Wheeler? He looked really impressive, and he looked like he was all business yesterday.
Well, how about that? You know, it's good to see that. You know, I guess that the way he carried himself and what I saw of the game, you know, to see him get on track like that, and that's, you know, like the start before, you know, for him to, you know, pitch 6 innings or so, and then, you know, he struck out 3 guys, you know, and he gave up some hits. You know, it was sort of out of the ordinary for him a little bit because he set such a high standard for us to look at it. It just shows that how hard the game is a little bit, and people, they are human. They're not machines out there pitching. That's the facet of the game. But he got back on track yesterday and had an outstanding day against a team that's been playing good baseball.
Hey, Tommy, it's producer Danny Ryan here. I want to pick your brain a little bit real quick about Aaron Nola. Obviously, a contract year for him. He'll be a free agent. And, well, let's just say he hasn't had the greatest of seasons or greatest of starts, at least so far. 68 2/3 innings pitched, 35 earned runs, 11 homers allowed, along with 15 walks, 60 strikeouts, and a 4.59 ERA. If you're Dave Dombrowski, are you bringing Aaron Nola back on, however many years he wants on a max deal? He's going to be going into his age 30 season, and it doesn't look like he's really improving, although he can eat a lot of innings. What are your thoughts on bringing Aaron Nola back for a ton of money?
Well, I thought I'd bring him back because he does eat innings, and he gives you what you need from a starter. Is he that shutdown guy all the time, stuff wise? No, he's a pitcher, and things go on in the big leagues that it just shows you how hard the game is. You spend time. He's going to have your. You look back at the years with some of your greatest pitchers ever, Nolan Ryan and freaking Lefty. They didn't have every season great seasons. That thing. You find ways you have to battle and you have to overcome some adversity. You might be doing a little thing you're trying to correct. It takes a little bit of time to get that feel to do things. But he's just going through a stretch right now. He's starting to find his way. And do some positive things, and he made one start this past week, if I'm not mistaken. And it's hard to look at this past week and say, I wouldn't give him the start, or over the first how many ever starts this year, I wouldn't give him the contract. Now over the course of this season, could it hurt him? Far as a little bit, yeah. As far as the type of money that he wants. It's in the way I look at that stuff. It's all right to want that, but it's also to be realistic. Does he want to stay here? What is he really? I mean, the rationale and stuff like that. What does he really want to do? And that's going to come down. He's got to come to grips with himself a little bit, and also, the union wants you to get what you can get because that helps other players in your class. So there's all that to consider to try to do. But I know me personally, what I would do, I'm staying where I want to stay. This is about me, about my family, what I want to do, and if he feels like that's enough money, whatever they talk about, and he accepts it, I mean, that's good. Could he got more? Maybe, and that comes down. That's just the game you play as far as the business side of it a little bit. But I think he wants to be here. This is, where every player wants to. I guess when I left Atlanta, you felt like, it gave me a little fuel for the fire because I wanted to stay with them. I didn't want to leave there. It wasn't my choice, though. They traded me. Right. So I had to do that. So but if I had a choice, I probably would have stayed because I made home and I felt family there, But if things change and, you have to roll with the punches sometimes, and that's the part of the business, that Aaron's going through right now, and it's the business side of it.
I think the one thing, you look at, he goes, so for instance, on April 28th in Houston, he throws 8 innings, allowing 1 earned run, no walks, strikes out like 7 batters, looks great. Then last week he comes out, he can't even make it through the 3rd inning, 4th inning, he gives up 3 homers, you know what I mean? So it's inconsistent. Yeah. And if he could just be a little bit more consistent as the year goes on, I think the Phillies, especially with their offensive lineup, now we're seeing a consistency with Stott leading off, Trey Turner in the 2-hole, Harper 3, Castellanos 4, and Schwarber. I think if you can get consistent, I think the Phillies should be in good shape.
Well, that's the thing that every athlete and all the athletes, pitching and hitting, that's what we strive to be. That's consistency. That's what keeps you in the big leagues. Unless unless they're paying you a ton of money for years, they're going to keep you, until they're ready. They say, okay, it's time to go. They're willing to eat, but they're going to keep you. But some guys don't have that luxury you got to put up to stay here. You got to be that little more consistent to stay here because somebody's always on your heels, in the minor leagues or coming up. And if you're not consistent, they might be looking for a trade or something to fill your position, So it's all about that is what we strive for, is to be consistent. There's one thing getting in pro ball. There's one thing moving up in pro ball each level. And another thing, getting to the big leagues, then another thing, staying in the big leagues. And the key to that is consistency. If you're consistent and you get there, you got the talent. It's all about consistency. And sometimes, you struggle with that. If it was that easy, Billy, you'd be playing. So.
Hey, Tommy, real quick before we let you go, we have a text from one of our more loyal fans here in the locker room. It's Dan in Egg Harbor Township, and he asks, can you ask Tommy if you can really put Schwarber anywhere in the lineup other than ninth? He's batting 160. Now, I don't really agree with this, but, he is batting low for his batting average right now. The homers are there, so it's a valid question. What do you think about Kyle Schwarber's batting average and his lack of contact and, surplus of strikeouts so far?
Oh man, that's part of as we've seen this first couple of years here. There's that's his mode. That's his MO a little bit. Is the lack of contact sometimes, but when he gets hot, with far as when he is hitting it hard and stuff, he tends to hit the long ball and can do some things, supply some runs that way. What would I like to see? I'd like to see him the big time concentration when he does his extra work and stuff. And not that I haven't seen none of this personally. I haven't been to the ballpark and able to see him do his extra work and do all that kind of stuff. But as a pitcher, and I'm evaluating him, I'm seeing everything right field. Everything right field. I remember Darren Dalton used to be that, and his way changed when he put in the effort and the time. We talked about it too, us, NBP and stuff, trying to hit everything left center, everything, and then in the game, just let it happen, and Darren was notorious of hooking everything foul, couldn't keep one fair down the line, home run distance. And then all of a sudden he started keeping things fair, hitting the home runs, hitting 20, upper 20 home runs, and becoming a better hitter, driving it the other way. It's sort of like Ryan Howard back in the day. When he was going good, he was driving it to left center. He was staying on balls and doing that, and that's the key, I think, to guys that with that type of power, that's, they're not jerking everything or looking, because he's got such quick hands. Schwarber does. He does. He really does. He is relying on that. And I know they're working on that stuff. They got to be. To me, it's going. The longer you let it travel, I think the better chance you have to hit it. To all fields. You're not pulling off of it, getting the early strikes. You're keeping stuff fair earlier. You're not fouling when those hard balls he hits hard, pulling them foul. He's staying on balls. And that's the key. And that's you can't ask for. You look. Then you got other guys that light up like Stott. Look what he does as a young hitter. What he's doing everywhere. What kind of week did he have? That was an unbelievable week he had. I think. He led the team and doing a number of different things. Runs scored and RBIs. He was up there at the top. And all kind of things. Led an average for the week. Yeah. So he had a great week. So I know his hitters. They're working on things, trying to use the whole field. But that's what I would really love to see Schwarber take advantage of more, because they're going to try to soft him away. There's lefty things that he faces. It's going to help him stay on balls and put balls in play rather than let him strike out too. So that's a huge thing to get him to make more contact.
Hey, his month is coming up on Thursday.
That's
June
right,
is the month
June.
of Schwarber.
All right, so we got the Phillies on national television tonight on ESPN. Covey against Strider. Spencer Strider is a tough customer. We got to him in the playoffs last year, but he's a tough guy to he's a tough guy to hit. 4-2 with a 2.97 ERA against Covey, and that's on national television tonight on ESPN. Tommy.
Oh yeah, big time. I like that.
All right, Tommy Greene. Enjoy the rest of your Memorial weekend, and we really appreciate having you on every Sunday on the mound with Tommy Greene. Thanks, T.
I appreciate it, buddy.
There he is, on the mound with Tommy Greene, brought to you by the John R Elliott Hero Campaign for designated drivers, a longtime partner of the Philadelphia Phillies, reminding you not to drink and drive and to always have a designated driver. Designated hitters win games. Designated drivers save lives. Take the Hero Pledge today at heropain.org. And remember, to be a hero, be a designated driver. Hey, the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you. With 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA, that's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or give the Ocean City office a call at 609-399-1227. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that's run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up hour number one. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Memorial Day on ESPN Radio.
Home run, Correa!
Carlos Correa.
Wow!
And the AL Central leading Minnesota Twins head to Houston to face Yordan Alvarez and the Astros.
Hit a ton! Yordan Alvarez with a 3-run homer.
The Minnesota Twins at the Houston Astros. Coverage begins tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Listen to Major League Baseball on 97.3 ESPN.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson & Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/BeSmart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
Progressive protects more than just your home and car. You could save when you bundle your motorcycles, ATVs, boats, and RVs. Doesn't that sound good? Like the sound of the wind in the trees as your RV sits parked in the forest. Is that the call of the majestic owl? And there's the sound of the tree branch crashing into the roof of your RV. Oof, I guess their nest was in that branch. But you know what does sound good? You're covered with Progressive. So bundle all your vehicles and home in one place and save with the multi-policy discount. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
Do you love a good cigar almost as much as your family? Well, maybe that's an exaggeration, but you can find that perfect cigar at Smoker's Haven. With 5 New Jersey locations, Smoker's Haven has the finest selection of cigars in the area, like Ashton, My Father's, Romeo and Julieta, Monte Cristo, and more. All from the finest tobacco leaves and hand-rolled by the world's finest cigar makers. All locations are fully open. Stop in and let them help you find the perfect cigar to pair with your life. See all they have and their locations at SmokersHavenNJ.com.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the best Superstart battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
One of the most influential names in comedy today, Andrew Schulz, will be live at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City, Saturday, July 29th.
Known for his unapologetic and unsafe comedy, Andrew Schulz has become the most viewed comedian in the world. Don't miss Andrew Schulz live at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City, Saturday, July 29th. Tickets on sale now at theoceanac.com. Must be 21 or older to wager or consume alcohol. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now, more of The Locker Room with Billy Schweim.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim and the producer, Danny Ryan. Danny, I guess the first hour is up. We'll get more of your text messages read at 609-403-0973.
Want me to speed round it?
Yeah, give me
All
quick.
right.
Give me quick.
We got Jim Tomey. He's built like a warrior from Jackson and Marlton, MJ. Smoking Joe Frazier from Tim in Ocean City, Maryland.
Smoking Joe.
We got Jake from EHC. Glenn Wilson. His name was Glenbo. And then last but not least, the Philly fanatic. If it's snowing, LaShawn McCoy.
All right, great job. 609-403-0973 is the text board. Your send is, who would you, out of all the Philadelphia Star athletes, who would you go to war with? Who would you share a foxhole with? 609-403-0973. When we return, our second hour we'll spend with surfing sensation Ben Grave is in the studio. It's our Memorial Weekend special right here on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN Radio. It's a showdown in the National League East.
Kyle Schwarber, and this place is going bananas.
Kyle Schwarber and the Philadelphia Phillies begin a 10-game road trip in Atlanta when they go head-to-head against the NL East leading Braves. The Philadelphia Phillies at the Atlanta Braves. Coverage begins today at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
This is the play-by-play home of Sunday Night Baseball, exclusively on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Hey guys, it's Mike Gill reminding you to get ready for summer with my friends at Ambient Comfort Heating and Cooling Professionals and their $59 air conditioning system tune-up for new customers. Regular maintenance helps avoid costly repairs, increases the life of your system, saves on energy costs, and keeps your family comfortable. They'll clean and adjust your system so it's safe and running at max efficiency, regardless of who originally installed it. And the first round of R22 refrigerant is included if needed. Ambient Comfort was just at my house. They arrived on time as scheduled, discovered an issue, replaced the part which they had right in the truck, no waiting, and now my air conditioner is ready to go. Glad I didn't wait until a 90-degree day to find out I had a problem. When comfort matters, choose Ambient Comfort and schedule your $59 AC tune-up now. Visit AmbientComfortNJ.com. That's AmbientComfortNJ.com or call 609-568-0955 and tell them Mike Gill sent you.
16 enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Date rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
Well, it's a patented key ingredient called testofen. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. It's backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text ROCK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321321. That's ROCK to 321321.
Hello, I'm Chief Joe Fussner of the Ventnor City Police Department. Did you know that the period between Memorial Day and Labor Day is considered the busiest and most dangerous travel time of the year? In New Jersey, fatal crashes, alcohol-related crashes, and young driver crashes all occur at higher rates during the summer season. Protect yourself and your passengers by wearing seatbelts every trip, both day and night. Your seatbelt is the single most effective way to reduce serious injuries, and it increases your chances of surviving a motor vehicle crash by as much as 45%. 1%. Law enforcement agencies across Atlantic County will be providing increased safety enforcement by joining the statewide Click It or Ticket campaign. Wearing your seatbelt is the law. If you're not wearing your seatbelt, you will get a ticket. Please do your part to keep our roadways safe by obeying traffic safety laws and practicing safe driving habits. The most important partner in our effort to prevent crashes and save lives is you. This message is brought to you by the Atlantic County Office of Highway Traffic Safety and the Ventnor City Police Department.
South Jersey's play-by-play home for the Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers.
He scored!
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station.
Red 83!
Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Von Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schweim.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Get me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schweim.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. It's the locker room with Billy Schweim and the producer Danny Ryan with us today as we're remembering those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. It's Memorial Day weekend down here at the Jersey Shore. And like I said, we remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom so we can talk sports on Saturday and Sunday and enjoy the beaches up and down the coast. It's Memorial Weekend, of course. Danny Ryan, we have a great question today on the text board at 609-403-0973.
Yeah, we had someone text in from Ocean City, Maryland, but now we've got a fella from Cincinnati. Bob from Cincinnati chimes in and says,
"Oh, it's my brother."
Oh, give me a break.
No, that's my brother Bobby. Yeah.
Why is he saying he's from Cincinnati?
Well, he's in Cincinnati. He's a pilot.
Oh, either way, he said for sure it's Bobby Clark from the Flyers.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
going with Bobby Clark. And
Whitey. Well, you got a couple more. Another one. And look, this guy's a personal friend of mine. How could I not include him?
Yeah, and
Craig Berube.
We got one from like you said, Mike from South Philly says the Chief, Craig Berube, no doubt about it.
Without question.
We got one more too, and this is a pretty good one, honestly. Aaron Rowan. He ran through a wall for the Phillies. That's from Mark, originally from Southwest Philly, now in Baltimore.
Wow.
He's going with Aaron Rowan, though. Broke his nose running into a wall to catch a ball.
That?
I mean, why would you not go to war with him? Come on.
609-403-0973. What Philadelphia star athlete would you go to war with? Share a foxhole, be it a submarine. 609-403-0973. Now, today we have a very special guest in the studio. I was made aware of this guy by a good friend of mine, Lou Capelli. He said, you got to do a story on this guy. Unbeknownst to me, my brother and his twin boys have been following this guy for a long, long time. Let's welcome into the locker room a local surfing sensation who's been all over the country and has got a great story to tell. We're going to spend the whole hour with you. Hey, Ben, Ben Gravy is with us. Thanks for being in the studio, buddy.
All right. I'm stoked to be here.
Oh, man.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Ben, what I like doing when we do the Beach Patrol report throughout the summer because the lifeguards save lives up here, up and down the coast. And on any given day, I told you when you walked in here, on any given day, man, you'll see a lot of surfers in the water. Heads bobbing in the water, so it's part of life down here.
Oh yeah, and surfing on the Jersey Shore is more popular than it's ever been.
Is that right?
Yeah, I truly believe that. Yeah,
I spoke with a good buddy, Greg Beck of Surfer Supplies, and he said you'd been over at the shop doing things over there.
Yeah, Greg's the man. We've gone through, done a couple signings, and just hanging out with the Groms and surfing out front. It's good, dude.
Man.
It's good.
So you Red Bull sponsors you.
Well,
or who? Tell me about your sponsor.
All right, I do a lot of work with Red Bull. I do, but Red Bull has a very strict athlete program.
Okay,
so I work with them for sure. But biggest sponsors, Cat Surf, Soft Tops, and Hyperflex.
They make those beater boards.
Yeah, the foam boards. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Perfect for the summer in New Jersey.
Yeah, right.
And Hyperflex Wetsuits, which is also a New Jersey wetsuit company.
Okay.
Those are my two big ones. And then I do a lot of work with Red Bull.
You said surfing is more popular than it ever was.
Yes,
you know,
it
when I
is.
started surfing, we had single fins, man.
Oh yeah.
And my brother Bobby and I used to have one. The rails were like this thick, like 4 inches to 6 inches thick.
Yeah.
And we put the board on our heads and walk down and surf like 1 foot waves.
Oh yeah.
But that's how we learned.
Yeah.
No wetsuits.
We're still doing.
I mean,
that.
it was, and it's an infancy stage, really surfing.
Yeah. We're still surfing 1 foot waves over here in Jersey.
Well, we're gonna get into your story.
Yeah.
But let's start off with how you really got this going, because you're a YouTube sensation. You have a huge following, dude. Like, we're broadcasting live on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I don't know if you're streaming live on yours, but we're on YouTube, The Locker Room with Billy Schweim. It's my website. You can watch us there on YouTube as well. But you're a YouTube sensation.
That's what they tell me.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it's great. So I was trying to become a professional surfer when I was a kid. You know, I made all the right moves. I was surfing all the contests, going up and down the East Coast. My dad would take me to California once a year, doing like the nationals and stuff. And you know, surfing's a tough sport.
Sure.
There's not a lot of money in surfing. So when I got to the end of high school, my parents were kind of like, dude, like, what's the deal? Like, this ain't you got to start winning some contests, or you're gonna have to go to college. And so I've also had a love for filmmaking my whole life. Okay. I got a video camera for Christmas when I was like 8 years old, and I started making videos, editing on a VHS,
Really?
like two
Wow.
VCRs,
Yeah.
two VCRs stacked on top, and I would like plug the CD player in and like get the audio in the background. So I've been doing it my whole life. And so I decided to go to film school. I went to film school in Philly.
Oh, nice.
And then, I was working in production and kind of started playing around with YouTube. And it's been like 7 years since I started my vlog channel, and it's been crazy.
Taking off.
Yeah.
Now, you have a unique story. Oh, that's the serious side of it. You started going out a little bit, drinking, having a good time.
Yeah.
You had a moment of clarity.
Yeah, I did. So yeah, after college, I was working in the production industry, mostly an editor.
Right.
I used to edit like casting tapes, TV pilots, like all kinds of stuff that like never really made it big. But that's what I did day in and day out. And I kind of wasn't living my dream. I wasn't fulfilled, and I didn't really know that because I have a lot of fun doing production. I love it. And I kind of like started, partying pretty heavy as a teenager, just traveling, surfing and stuff. That carried into college.
Is that like kind of like the lifestyle?
Definitely.
Like, it's like people perceive like you're a surfer. Like, no offense, you kind of look like Spicoli. I mean, you really do.
I get that a lot, dude.
You look like Jeff Spicoli.
I've heard that one before. I've also heard Woody Harrelson a lot.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, is that the perception? Like,
Yeah, it
surfers are like partiers, and,
Yeah.
Living on the land.
I think it's changing.
Is it?
Surfing's becoming a more professional sport,
Sure.
and companies are realizing that they want to make money doing it.
Right.
So I think it's becoming more, serious. But yeah, it's a massive part of the lifestyle.
So you went to I read the articles. Because Amy Rosenberg did a really good piece on you in the Philadelphia Inquirer, and she said you had your moment of clarity when you got tossed out of Maynard.
Yeah.
Tell us about
Which
that.
is funny because
we love Maynard.
I've been tossed out of Maynard's multiple times. But,
I can honestly say that I've never been tossed out of Maynard.
No, so like I had this weird, long story short, I ended up being home for like fall break, and I was partying every single day, pretty much from Halloween until Christmas Eve.
Right.
And I remember being at Maynard's on Christmas Eve, and there's nobody in there. Because
Right.
why would you be there? You should
Right.
be at home with your family.
Right,
So I was there with a couple of my friends, and we were just being idiots, typical stuff. And I ended up getting in a little confrontation with the bartender. We just exchanged a few words, nothing crazy really.
Right.
But for some reason, when I was walking home, it hit me so hard
What the heck am I doing?
that I was at Maynard's on Christmas Eve, pretty much by myself, wasted, arguing with the only other person that was in there.
Right.
And I was like, this can't be my life.
Right.
So yeah, I had this weird, crazy moment of clarity, and I woke up on Christmas morning, and I was like, it's time to give myself a gift. And I said I was going to do a year and see how I felt. And it's been 7 years and like 5 months.
And being clean and sober, has that helped your surfing?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Maybe
if you're like, if you're an athlete too, like even these professional athletes, Major League Baseball, football,
yeah,
you know, you think you have to take, it's like 365 days. You got to take care of your body.
Not everyone's Babe Ruth out
right,
there.
Right.
You know?
or look at Mickey Mantle. I mean, there's Mickey Mantle, played for the Yankees. He was known as a drinker, right?
Yeah.
Look at that Lenny Dykstra.
A lot of those guys back in the day, it was typical to go out and party till, you know, the break of dawn and then come out and try and perform the best. But it doesn't always work in this day and age.
Yeah, that's kind of how surfing was too. That's kind of where, like, I thought that was a completely acceptable lifestyle. But then when you're deep in that life, you don't realize that, like, the surfing portion is getting smaller and the partying portion is getting bigger and taking over everything.
Yeah.
So I was at the point where, like, I would be like, oh, it's 4 o'clock. Like, I made it far enough. Let's get some beers. Or like, oh, I just, like, something good happened to me. Let's get some beers. Something bad happened to me. Let's get some beers.
Yeah, right.
So, how the YouTube thing came from that was pretty much I started just being like, all right, Ben, like, you need to, like, figure this out. Like, you need to figure out a way to stay sober. So I started the YouTube channel, and surfing got naturally introduced to my life again after that, because I was like, I need something to burn off this steam that I'm drinking off.
Right.
And I need an outlet pretty much.
Right.
So I started making the YouTube videos, and I was still working in production on the side, editing, but it was easy for me to create vlogs because I already did that. I edited every day for a living. So I was doing the videos, and then surfing naturally became a part of it because it's, you know, it's the thing that I love to do. And then the novelty waves came from that, because surfing out front every day gets a little bit mundane. So I started being like, all right, well, let's go check out this jetty. Let's go check out under this bridge. Like, what's going on over here? What's going on? Like, so it's been just a progression over time.
Well, we're going to spend the whole hour with you because we got so much to talk about and learn about. Like, my brother even has some questions prepared for me. He says, you don't know Ben like I do. I got to give you questions. I want to ask him this, ask him that. So we're going to spend an hour with you. We're going to take it easy.
All right, cool.
And there's so much to learn about what you're doing. And look, we're down here at the Jersey Shore, and what do people do? They surf. They're in the water. My daughter's 7 years old. The water's, what is it, 61 degrees?
Yeah, it's 60, yeah.
She was in the water without a wetsuit yesterday.
Going for
7 years old. Yeah. So we're down here on the coast. It's the Locker Room with Billy Schweim here every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon. And we talk all sports, and surfing's a sport. So we're gonna pick your brain for an hour. And I want to remind people, for over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of Billy Schweim. Wedding, let Chet and the staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out the website at circleliquors.com. Give them a call, 609-927-2921. That's Circle Liquor Store in Summers Point, New Jersey. Tell them the Locker Room sent you. Hey, folks, I'm here to tell you about Lavari's Seafood Bar and Grill, located on Route 50 and Tuckahoe Road in Petersburg, just 8 minutes over Ocean City's 34th Street Bridge. It's an old school bar, 18 big screen TVs, daily specials. They're open every day at 11 a.m., celebrating 15 years in business. Say hello to Renee and Kim, the bartenders. They're open every Thursday night is wing night, $1 wings, $2.50 domestic drafts, live music every Friday night. You want to book a private party, give Dave Lavari a call at 609-628-2225. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the Locker Room with our special guest, surfing sensation Ben Gravy, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Here's what you missed on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Back in the day, I was a casino manager, and Mr. Johnson came in one night. And he was wearing his own football jersey.
Hey, what team
it
was
a
it?
Jet. It was 1999. We just thought it was odd that you were wearing your own jersey.
He really got me out there looking like a lame. Man, please, Dave, stop it.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Rhymes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Rhymes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. 90s. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Hundreds of Volkswagens in stock and on sale. Hundreds of Mitsubishis, even 100 electric Bintelli golf carts in stock and on sale at Tom's River Auto Group. And not one a penny over sticker. Plus, Tom's River Auto has a Birds fan bonus. $500 off just for showing up in a team jersey, hat, socks, whatever. How easy is that? New or used, Tom's River's got plenty, but hurry. On sale, they're flying. Click Tom'sRiverAutoGroup.com.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical. They're number one.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead.
With free battery testing and charging, AutoZone is here to help.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
What if I need a new one?
We have the right batteries right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone.
And what if I don't know how to connect it?
No problem. We have a how-to for you at AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
We got Verizon 5G home internet. It's from Verizon. Safe choice, right?
Well, some things that look great end up being not so great.
Like the time you bought a shrimp roll from a gas station.
Or when you bought that used sports car.
What about when we got Billy that drum set?
The point is, Verizon 5G home internet sounded great,
but turned out to be something else. And we deserve fast, reliable internet. We deserve Xfinity.
It's time for better internet. Switch to Xfinity. Learn more at xfinity.com/Verizon 5G Facts. Now through June 21st, get started with 200 megabit per second Xfinity internet with Wi-Fi equipment included. It's all just $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract. You can save up to $600 in your first 2 years over Verizon. Go to xfinity.com/Verizon 5G Facts, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Compares Xfinity Connect More to Verizon 5G home plan.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, we're back here broadcasting live at the Tom's River Auto Group studio in Northfield. Billy Schweim, the producer, Danny Ryan, our special guest today, is surfing and YouTube sensation Ben Graby, who has surfed all over the United States. And Ben, during the break, we're talking about how you came about to surf all over the country. What gave you the impetus to say, I'm going to go surf this wave or that wave?
Yeah. It's kind of started out as a joke. I like we were talking about, I was doing the daily YouTube videos kind of to keep myself sane.
Right.
And that led to me surfing different waves all the time because I needed to find something new, fresh, and exciting. And I was kind of going up and down the East Coast, and I ended up I drove out to California, and this guy invited me to go river surfing.
River surfing?
Yeah.
Where would that be?
Colorado.
Okay.
So river surfing is kind of like, if you see a lot of those river kayakers, they do these standing waves. Like the wave there's a little drop in the river and it picks back up and it creates something that kind of resembles a wave. So
like a tube ride, not a tube.
It's not a tube. It's kind of just like, it's like a glassy orb that kind of just like sits in the water. It's like a lump.
Right.
But you can get speed.
But you can ride it.
Yeah, you can ride it. It's not really surfing, but you're standing still, you're weaving back and forth, you're making it look good.
Right.
So I did that and I was like, whoa, technically I just surfed in Colorado. And then I went out to California. Did whatever I had to do. And then a bunch of people were like, how many states have you surfed? Like commenting on my YouTube videos. And I was like, oh, well, now come to think of it, I've surfed in 14 states. And people were going, oh,
how do you do that?
You might as
well.
well
Only like 6 or 7 states that have a coast.
Yeah. And they were like, you might as well just go ahead and do them all. And I was like, wait, that's not a bad idea.
I have my new video idea. Just like that.
Yeah, I think it was fun to have an overarching story,
right,
to go with the daily uploads. Because then we were like, we're this much closer to our goal, and people can get on board with that.
That is so cool.
It became a it became a really cool thing. And so we just started going for it, and it got crazier and crazier.
So you've done all 50 states?
I have, yes. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
The one that caught my eyes when you were up in Alaska.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, you're Danny. I don't know if you saw that one on his YouTube. And by the way, if you want to send the question in for Ben, 609-403-0973 is the text board. 609-403-0973 is the text board. If you have a question for Ben Gravy, who we have here in the studio, surfing and YouTube sensation, send us a text, 609-403-0973. But surfing the ice, the glacier, breaks off the glacier. The ice breaks off the glacier, goes into the water, and creates a huge wave. And you took it in.
Yeah, it's that experience was like nothing else, as you could imagine. It was crazy because when we first got to Alaska, we were going out on the boat, and like it's like a 6-hour boat
and
ride.
the boat was one of those boats like the Last Catch or the Super Catch. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, was it
small?
It was a decommissioned fishing vessel.
God.
It was pretty small. It was 60 feet long. We were on there for a week, so it gets smaller and smaller every day.
Yeah. Your sleeping arrangements look pretty gnarly too. I mean,
yeah, mine weren't too bad, but the crew where they had to sleep up front in the bunk beds. I had my own room, but it was still.
What do you got, about 3 inches where your head is to where the ceiling is?
Yeah, just about.
Oh man.
And so it's like a 6-hour ride out to the glaciers, and you go out there, and at first everything that I saw, I was like, this is amazing,
right?
And
was beautiful too,
massive
right?
mountains,
beautiful.
yeah. Eagles, like
really
big evergreen trees, like it's crazy.
Did you see any orcas?
No,
like you did, like killer whales or whatever?
Everybody was saying that.
You didn't see any killer
didn't
whales?
See any. We
were
saw,
you worried about it?
Not until after I got home. People were like, I got a lot of whale comments, and I was like, whoa, these okay, so these whales actually.
I get a lot of whale comments.
And I was like, whoa, these whales actually eat great white sharks. Okay,
right.
cool.
Maybe I shouldn't have surfed there.
But yeah, it was something.
I mean, obviously, a wetsuit company sponsors you.
Yeah.
So you were wearing what, a 7.5?
Yeah. So Hyperflex gave us a bunch of new suits for the trip, which is very kind of them.
Well, they wanted to test. Obviously, you tested it out.
No,
right?
it was the ultimate test.
Right.
Because we were in the ice field, as you saw.
Well, I saw you jumping on. And by the way, give us your YouTube channel so people can go there.
Yeah, it's youtube.com/Ben Gravy. Ben Gravy with 2 Y's. I couldn't get 1 Y, so Ben Gravy, Gravyyy.
You literally got up on a like an iceberg.
Yeah,
it's miniature iceberg.
Yeah, it's a crazy experience. The water's about 28 degrees because all that ice is in it, frozen. Right. And then you roll up and you go up, and it's like a 500-foot tall glacier, and you're like, there's no possible way that something's gonna fall off here and create a wave. And then lo and behold,
yeah, I saw that
big chunk of ice just falls down, plunges into the water.
So you had to be in the right spot.
Oh, you did. Yeah. It was.
So you just sat there. So you were out in the freezing cold water, sitting there waiting for a chunk of ice to fall off.
Exactly. It was extreme conditions.
Danny, is that nuts or what?
I mean, Ben, is there ever a point where you're just like, maybe this isn't worth it? I could have gotten crushed by the ice, or like, do you just love every second of the experience?
Yeah, actually, there was a point during that experience that I said this might not be a good idea. I got a little bit too close to the glacier wall. And when you're near the glacier wall, it makes these cracking and shifting sounds, and you can tell that the whole thing could fall at any minute. Yeah. And you have about 3 to 4 seconds before you know that something's coming down. So it's not, you don't get a big warning. And I did. I backed away from the wall, and I was like, you know what? I'll settle for a smaller wave so that I can go home.
Did the captain of the boat give you any insight, like expert, like did he give you any things knowledge that you needed to learn, like tips?
Yeah, he said, like, don't go near the don't go
and
near
of course you did the complete opposite, right?
And then he said, the waves can be bigger than you think. And I was like, okay, because I'm just on the boat like, yo, I'm gonna go get an overhead wave. I'm frothing, not thinking about ice crushing me, stuff falling on me. As a surfer, you want the wave,
right?
The elements around it don't really matter as much. You just want to get the wave.
I want to get to our country. How beautiful is our country?
It's the best.
Is it just like, are you in all some of the places that you've been?
Yeah, it's one of the greatest experiences.
Does that give you a newfound appreciation for the United States of America?
100%. I believe that everybody. Oh, by the way, I'm happy you mentioned the troops in the beginning of the broadcast. Yeah, and I just want to say,
Memorial Weekend, man. These people later they paid the ultimate sacrifice.
They did, and I'm honored to be here talking to you. So thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, so I believe that everyone should drive around America. Right. I truly believe that they should. Either a van, an RV, just live that for, you could get around the country in a couple weeks.
Right.
It is amazing. Like
what's the one place that, like you say, I got to get back there? I just want to spend some time there.
Texas.
Real Texas.
I love it.
No, that would be like the last place I thought you. Why Texas?
I just love it.
Did you surf in Texas?
Yeah, I did. I have.
Well, they got coastline.
I've surfed in the Gulf.
Right.
And then I've tanker surfed in Texas.
Tanker surf.
And then they have
behind a tanker?
Yeah, the tanker wake behind the
wake.
wake.
Oh my! You surfed the wake of the Cape May Lewis ferry.
Yeah.
Did you go from Lewis to all the way to Cape May?
No, you can ride it for about a minute, but you can't get it. You can't get across the channel.
You couldn't go the whole way behind the wake.
No, because like it needs a shallow sandbar. So what happens is it's a water displacement.
Right.
The back of the boat is pressing so like that boat's 4,000 tons.
Right.
So it's pressing into the water. And if you think about it, like if you ever see a big boat go by, there's higher water behind it than there is next to it.
Yeah.
And that's just the displacement of the boat. But when that high water behind it hits a very shallow sandbar, it'll start breaking like a wave.
Wow.
So I figured that out. And
but behind a tanker, you don't have a rope or anything. You're riding free surfing.
Yeah, you're just surfing the wake.
That's so cool.
And it's the same idea. It's a displacement wave, but the tankers are 200,000 tons. So you could get a head high wave behind a tanker.
We got Ben Gravy in the studio with us. He's a surfing sensation, YouTube sensation that's been all around the country surfing. And you said another reason why you wanted, like, surfers like say, I wonder if I can surf that break, or I wonder if I get that break. Explain that to us.
Yeah. So the idea is kind of like, I believe that for many, many years, people were looking at waves and everyone kind of saw novelty waves.
Right.
That's what I call them, novelty waves.
Because if a surfer will look at it and go, I wonder if I can ride that.
Yeah. Or it's too small, they think, or like, they'd be like, oh, if I was a G.I. Joe, it'd be firing out there. Or like, so then I was like, why am I just looking? Like,
let's go do it.
I got to get out there.
Right.
And then that kind of led
That's
me
groovy gravy.
Sure is. That led me to my dream life of surfing knee-high waves.
It's so cool. But like there's we're between like Longport and Ocean City.
Yeah.
There's like a left that comes off that little. It's a little thing. I can't tell you how many times we were little. It's like, oh man, look at that little left.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's like about maybe 8 inches or something.
Yeah.
But it's perfect.
What part are you
like if you come over the Ocean City First Street Bridge and you're going to Longport, there's that where the dog beach is.
Oh yeah.
Like further down near the restaurant down there.
Oh, I've surfed that a lot. Yeah.
Well, you named a couple breaks.
Yeah.
Give us my brother Bobby said, ask him about the breaks you named.
Well, one in particular, and now thankfully Apple Maps is agreeing with me because enough people have agreed that this spot is called El Slamo.
And where's El Slamo?
El Slamo is the I guess it would be the southern point of Longport.
Right. And there's a jetty there.
There's a small fishing jetty.
Yeah.
And I used to look at it when I was a kid, and it's one of those things. I used to see these little barrels in there, and I'd be like, that's not surfable. And then as I got older, I was like, you know what? It'd be kind of good out there.
Why not?
But I will say, it's pretty dangerous. There's a current. It pulls into the
There's
rocks.
a reason why you named it El Slamo.
Yeah, El Slamo.
Slam.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really?
And it's really shallow, and there's a current that pulls you into the jetty, and it's actually a refraction wave. It bounces off and goes right. And it doesn't break all the time. It needs a certain sandbar and a certain little swell, and it can get
perfect timing.
Yeah, exactly.
So with that question being answered, my brother wants me to ask you this one: How'd you break your collarbone?
Well,
you got El Slamo.
Surfing El Slamo.
Did you?
Yeah. So I broke my collarbone back in October. I was actually about to leave for like a 3-week trip, which and we had all these events lined up and all this stuff. And we went down to El Slamo one morning. It was small, 2 foot, little waves, but there was this little section that was dumping little barrels. And I was like, I think I could pull one of those off. Little did I know it looked about 6 inches deep, and it was about half an inch deep. So I tried to pull into a little barrel. The wave kind of caught me, and I jumped off thinking I could spin and just be like, oh, I'm good. I'll land in 6 inches of water. It ended up being like no water, and I just hit and spun at the same time. Got El Slamo.
Got El Slamo.
You got El Slamo. 609-403-0973. If you have a question for Ben Gravy, send it in. 609-403-0973.
Billy, I think it's a good time to plug the merch too. It's actually
Yeah,
El
absolutely.
Slamo t-shirt on wavebandit.com. If you want to purchase it, $30. Baby blue, it looks like the color is. Pretty sick graphic. You designed. Did you design this here?
I did
graphic?
not.
Still pretty cool though.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my buddy Aaron designed it. over at Cat Surf in California.
A lot of merchandise you can buy on WaveBandit.com. So go support our boy Ben Gravy.
All right. For over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City with the most competitive prices around. Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the Locker Room with Billy Schweim. Throwing a party, a wedding. Hey, the 4th of July is coming up, and even night in Venice in Ocean City. Let Chet and his staff make sure you have everything you need for the party. Check out the website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's 609-927-2921. Circle Liquor Store in Somers Point. They deliver. Hey, there's a new wind blowing at Maserati, the main line. All new Maserati main line located in Devon, PA. To experience it for yourself. With class-leading space and advanced driving and technology features, their Grigali makes every journey a thrilling experience. From your daily commute to weekend road trips, the Maserati Grigali elevates every moment into something truly special. Test drive the all-new Grigali for yourself and experience how it makes every day exceptional. Visit them online at motml.com or give them a call at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800. Ask for Michael Pileggi to schedule your test drive today. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more with Ben Gravy in here in the locker with Billy Schweim and Danny Ryan on 97.3 ESPN.
Memorial Day on ESPN Radio.
Home run, Correa!
Carlos Correa.
Wow!
And the AL Central leading Minnesota Twins head to Houston to face Yordan Alvarez and the Astros.
Hit a ton! Yordan Alvarez with a 3-run homer.
The Minnesota Twins at the Houston Astros. Coverage begins tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Listen to Major League Baseball on 97.3 ESPN.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Call and again and again. Call and again and again.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
Welcome to tonight's debate on the name of New Jersey's iconic breakfast meat.
Everyone knows it's pork roll.
Hey, calm down.
Sit down.
The debate can finally be won thanks to the New Jersey Lottery's meaty new scratch-offs. The Jersey Debate with a top prize of $200,000.
Play the Jersey Debate. Name that meat scratch-offs with over $13 million in prizes. Anything can happen in Jersey.
Next topic. Is there a central Jersey?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or somebody knows a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now, more of The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back here in the Locker Room, broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio in Northfield. Billy Schweim, Danny Ryan, and our special guest, surfing sensation, local product, Ben Gravy. You can follow him on YouTube. Ben, what's your YouTube address again?
Yeah, youtube.com/Ben Gravy with 2 Y's.
Hey, Ben, what's the biggest wave you've ever been on?
You know, it's hard to say. But I do have a friend that his name's Will Scooten. He towed me into a big wave in Oregon.
Oh, he towed you into it.
He's an expert big wave surfer. He's a professional big wave surfer, and he told me the wave was 33 feet.
Now, how do you measure a wave, from the front or the back?
I measure them from the front.
From the front, because it's the drop, right?
Yeah, I measure waves biologically.
Okay. Well, I mean, you hear over the years, you hear how you measure a wave.
Oh, yeah.
There's some discrepancy.
Yeah.
Have you ever surfed Half Moon Bay?
I have not, but I've been
That's
there.
a pretty
once.
big breakout there.
Yeah. That's, I've dabbled in big wave surfing, but I think I'd have to put a lot of work in before I was ready for that.
Is that right?
I don't want to go out there and like mess around and like
You gotta respect the ocean. Mother
exactly.
Nature,
and I respect the people that do that
Right.
big wave surf. So like I don't want people to, think I'm trying to like make a mockery of it or something.
Right.
Like going out there and surfing Mavericks and making a YouTube video first day.
Right.
Like if I was gonna go out there, I'd take the time and I would
just hang out.
Yeah, I would
chill
take
out,
my time to
get
get
to know
into
some
it.
people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you know how to go about doing it.
I try. Yeah.
609-403-0973 if you have a question for Ben Gravy.
You have a question
Great.
on the text line, but
Cool.
it's from a Schleimer.
That
Schweiner.
is-
Bobby
yeah.
chimes in and asks, ask Ben who he thinks the best surfer to come out of South New Jersey is. And I will say, you can name yourself.
You won't do that.
I got
No, I
two.
know.
I got two. And it's hard to decipher. There's actually a few that I have to mention. But all-time legend, my favorite guy ever out of New Jersey is Dean Randazzo.
Dean Randazzo.
I believe that he paved the road for Jersey surfing. And when I used to travel and do events, people would ask me where I was from, and I would say Jersey, and they'd be like, "Oh, then you know Dean." And Dean's a legend. I watched Dean Randazzo take down Dane Reynolds. And
Really?
Dane Reynolds was a big surfer at the time. And one-on-one heat, Dean Randazzo beat him at Steamer Lane in California.
No way.
And, I think I was like 19 at the
So
time.
my brother
watching.
Bobby and I know Dean pretty well. He used to hang at my house. We used to have a house at 3101.
Yeah.
Same address as Surfer
Yeah.
Supplies for 10 years. And Dean was over there all the time, man.
Yeah.
And I don't think I realized, like what you just said, I don't think I even realized, because I knew him as just Dean. We used to call him Rambozo. Like he was just one of us.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
totally.
think I really appreciate how good Dean was and
Yeah,
his
he was-
legacy that he's created for South Jersey surfers.
He was the one and only New Jersey surfer.
Brian Heritage was before him.
Yeah. Dean
little
was
bit.
the one and only New Jersey surfer to ever qualify for the World Championship Tour, which is the elite surfers in the
Wow.
world. So Dean is quite literally a world-class surfer, or he was in his prime.
We're talking with Ben Gravy. We're visiting with Ben Gravy here in the studio. YouTube and surfing sensation from South Jersey. Surfed all 50 states, believe it or not. Say Iowa. Did you surf Iowa?
Iowa was not bad. Iowa was pretty good. It was a standing river wave.
Really?
Under a bridge next to this church in Charles City. Stayed at a Super 8 the night before,
Really?
showed up.
Super 8.
And
we'll leave the light on for you.
Yeah.
That's the red roof in.
Drove through a couple cornfields and woke up and saw a 2-foot wave and went out there and surfed.
How about
And,
Minnesota?
Minnesota? Okay, Minnesota's pretty impressive. I'm gonna have to show you a picture. So there's a spot in Minnesota that's at the
Amazing.
bottom of Lake Superior
Yeah.
that catches the biggest swell on the Great Lakes.
Really?
And I've surfed Minnesota 2 times overhead, probably.
When you show up there, Ben, there are people that I'm sure that told you about the wave.
Yeah, definitely.
And
yeah.
they surf it.
Yeah.
So when they have somebody come in from a coast,
Yeah.
whether it's east or west, that's got to make them stoked.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool experience. And going out there and figuring out what surfing really is, not just like our idea of surfing, going out there and meeting those people who are going out in 6-degree weather.
Right.
And they're really surfers. They
Right.
are hardcore and they don't care about any of the sponsorships or no magazines or anything like that. They don't care about the surfing industry. They're literally surfing. They're out there just doing it.
609-403-0973. If you have a question for Ben Gravy, send it to us.
Bobby Schweim chimed in again, but
He's
we'll get to
loving
him
this.
later.
He's
We'll get to him
loving this,
later.
man.
We actually do have a text from Jackson in Marlton, New Jersey. He's asking, Ben, what is the energy like in the surfing community on those selective days each year in New Jersey when the waves are overhead and barreling?
That's a great question. Can I answer that? Because I remember as a kid, people just looked like were so excited.
Oh yeah,
like they would follow like the low pressure coming up the system, and they were like, there's gonna be like everybody's like anticipating how big it was gonna be.
Yeah, you can feel it. Like you really can feel it, and you just know when you wake up and it's a hurricane swell and the wind's offshore, and you can feel it in your bones how good the waves are gonna be, and everybody is stoked.
How about jetty jumping? I mean, sometimes you have to like sometimes it's really hard to get out if it's like not coming.
Yeah.
You know, is that they don't call it jetty jumping?
Yeah,
like,
no.
You know what I mean? Like when it's like just coming in, they're not coming in sets. They're just coming in, and you have to get out there. You can't. It's duck diving might be tough.
I would take any opportunity I could
to get out there.
I would definitely.
Have you ever jetty jumped?
I have.
Yeah.
But a lot of the jetties around here now are too low. You would just get absolutely swamped by the waves.
Right.
Yeah. I've mostly been getting washed over the jetties more so than jumping off.
Hey, Ben, there's been a lot of stories about sharks in the news lately.
I heard that.
What is your, like, do you even think about that when you're in the water? Or?
No, I don't. But, I went swimming with my wife yesterday and she was freaked out the whole time. And
because there was a girl in I think, Stone Harbor or Avalon.
I think it was Stone Harbor.
Stone Harbor.
That's crazy. That's really, really crazy.
Never comes into your mind. I mean, I don't think any surfer really thinks about that.
I don't. I'm just so excited to be out there in the waves. And I believe that it's a really slim chance of happening.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're out there by yourself and it's kind of slow and there's a little bit of fog,
609-403-0973. If you have a question for Ben Gravy, Ben. How about reef? Surfing on a reef. I mean, that can be pretty dangerous. I remember being in Costa Rica or even in Costa Rica when waves sucks up, you would see these boils in the water.
Yeah.
And like people say, stay away from the boils, right?
Yeah. I've hit a lot of reefs.
Have you really?
Tons, dozens.
You get the reef rash?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I was just in Panama.
Like the movie North Shore Heavy Reef Rap, bro.
Yeah.
Scarred for life for sure. What should I do? Scrub it, coot.
I've hit the reef at backdoor multiple times.
Did you really?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Not on a big day though, thank God.
So how do you get those barnacles out, man?
It's mostly just
Is it like the movie
just
where
tear you up.
Well, won't they just you have to put light? What was the thing you had to put fire or flame?
Oh, are you talking about like
what is
so? If you're in Puerto Rico, there's a lot of there's urchins that you can get them in your feet and they burrow in there. Those things are painful.
They sting, right?
Yeah,
they're
painful.
And you got to put a match to it or something. A lighter?
Yeah, I usually just dig them out or let them ride. Like if they're too deep, I let them ride. They work their way out.
609-403-0973. If you have a question for surfing sensation Ben Gravy, who's joining us in the studio on Memorial Weekend, as we remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice and laid down their lives on the altar of freedom, so we can talk sports, Danny Ryan. I mean,
why we're here.
It's why we're here, brother.
I mean, they protected our lives.
Yeah.
And they put theirs on the line. So, as every Memorial Day weekend, you got to pay our respects. But I do want to get to Bobby's question, his second question, real quick. And I mean, Ben, Billy kind of alluded to it when you walked in the door. You didn't waste any time. Bobby wants to know who Nub Nation is.
Yeah. I have that written down, but I didn't get to it yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, first of all, I just want to say shout out to Bobby. Thanks for writing in. Happy to answer your questions. Okay. So short and sweet version is I used to go to church with this kid, Mike Nespor, and we were skateboarders when we were younger, and we had this dream of making a skate magazine. But we thought that Skateboarder and Thrasher highlighted all the pro skaters. We could highlight the underground skaters. So we invented this idea that was called Nub. It was Nobody's Unliked Buddy. And it was a skateboarding magazine that would highlight unsponsored skaters. So what happened is eventually Mike actually ended up passing away. So in his honor, I wanted to create something to remember him by. So I initially called my following on YouTube the Nub Nation. So it's a little bit of a an honor to my friend Mike, and cool. I think a special thing that we came up with when we were younger, just something like a community environment, something like just a good, powerful idea. I think.
Talk about the surf community. Ben. I mean, the people that you've met all around the country. I mean, we talked about how beautiful this country is. What about the people?
Yeah, great, amazing. And
unbelievable.
it's weird, like there's so much stuff going on these days with social media and the news and all this stuff that makes people think that everyone out there is evil
Yeah.
and just like always angry and like having all these issues. And when you go outside for real into the world, everyone's really nice. Usually, like you might come across a couple grumpy
Well,
people
but there is a perception that, like, if you go to somebody's surf territory, like in the movie North Shore, like the locals, the Hui, right? They didn't want you surfing in their territory.
I've never had that issue.
In all the places that you've been,
no, never had an issue. And the only place that anyone ever acts like that is Instagram.
Is that right?
And if you saw them in real life, they are never coming up to you and saying anything.
When you go out, are you with a bunch of people or are you by yourself?
I usually go by myself.
Is that right?
Yeah, just
Does your wife travel with you?
Yeah, she does sometimes. It's kind of hard for me to find people to travel with. A lot of my trips are last minute, and I'm usually just struggling to scrape together a filmer, and hopefully we can get out there and just make this happen. Like I'm leaving to go down to North Carolina after this interview.
Well, you go down to the Outer Banks?
Yeah, I couldn't find anyone to go with me either, so I'm just going by myself.
Really?
But
that's what the lifestyle is, right?
That's what
it
it takes.
Pack up and go.
Yeah, that's what it takes. Too.
609-403-0973. If you have a question for Ben Gravy, send us a text.
People are getting more and more interested as
Yeah,
the
man.
time goes along. We got one did not provide his name or where he's from, or perhaps her name or where she's from, but I don't know really what this means. I'm interested to hear your answer, Ben. What happened to the window and the Range Rover when you first started borrowing it?
This
That's
is
somebody knows.
100% my wife's mom. So shout out to Carla. Thanks for listening. I had just met my wife, and they finally let me take the beach car down to the beach.
Right.
And over in Brigantine, they have a house in Brigantine, and I decided to bring a board down for my wife, Jordan. And when she got done surfing for 5 minutes, she only surfed for 5 minutes. So I brought this big longboard down, put it back into the car, sent it right through the front window. And
dude.
Sorry, Carla.
How many boards you have?
Oh man.
So you
Dozens.
probably got
Yeah, I have a lot of boards.
Well, that's a good segue for our next question. Alex in South Jersey says, how many boards exactly do you have?
How about that? I didn't even see that. I just thought
It's
about
crazy.
that. Great question.
I really enjoy giving away boards, so I do give away a lot of boards, but probably right now I'm probably sitting on like 30 boards.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have a manufacturer that you deal with, or just all kind of manufacturers?
Well, for hardboards, for the fiberglass traditional surfboards, I actually work with a bunch of different people. There's a board company, Algorithm, that has been sending me boards recently, but for the soft tops, Cat Surf in California, they have made me a signature board, the Ben Gravy signature line.
And cool!
I have like 14 different models, so those are all soft tops, and they keep me busy. I have a lot of experimenting to do on all those.
This
boards.
is so cool. I'm really enjoying having you in here, Ben.
It is great.
And I got to tell you, Danny, I'm looking at him, and I don't mean to be. You look like Spicoli. I feel like this is so cool.
I'll tell you what, I didn't see Woody Harrelson until he said it, and now I do.
You do see Woody Harrelson?
He might be related to Matthew McConaughey. That's the
a
recent
little of
rumor.
that too,
So,
right? So, Ben, you can surf. When did you learn? When did you first get in the water? How old were you? Because you can surf up until as long as you can do it. You can surf. Right?
Yeah, I was. I think I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad took me and my brother out in Longport.
It's a
Right at
way
the end
of
of our
life,
street.
right?
Yeah, it's. I was hooked right away.
609-403-0973 is the text board. We get a couple more questions in
We
for
got
Ben
one-
Gravy.
Yeah, we got one last one before we head to break, Billy. Didn't put his name or where he's from, so make sure you do that next time you text in. But he said, Ben, if you had a preference, would it be surfing Clark foam or the new boards?
Well, that's really hard to say. On the best day of the year, and all the conditions are right, I'd probably want to be on a fiberglass surfboard. But most of the time, the ways that I surf, I end up having to use soft tops because they're usually small waves. So depends on the wave, but all-time day of the year, I'd probably just be on like a regular 511 epoxy surfboard.
609-403-0973 is the text board. If you have a question for Ben, we have him in here for a few more minutes. Send us a text message at 609-403-0973. Want to remind people, for over 83 years, Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City. with the most competitive prices around. Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the Locker Room with Billy Schweim. Throwing a party, a wedding, let Chet and his staff make sure you have everything you need. They deliver. Check out the website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's Circle Liquor Store in Summers Point. Check them out. Tell them the Locker Room sent you. Hey, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap it up. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim and Danny Ryan right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN Radio. It's a showdown in the National League East.
Kyle Schwarber, and this place is going bananas.
Kyle Schwarber and the Philadelphia Phillies begin a 10-game road trip in Atlanta when they go head-to-head against the NL East leading Braves. The Philadelphia Phillies at the Atlanta Braves. Coverage begins today at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
This is the play-by-play home of Sunday Night Baseball, exclusively on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/Be Smart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
Do you want to get in shape and feel great and look better on the beach? At Local Gym and Fitness, located at 908 Asbury Avenue, you can accomplish your goal. 4 local guys with a passion and experience in fitness wanted to open a gym that delivers a quality, hospitable, clean, and friendly environment. Don't be intimidated. Be a local. Local Gym has the best equipment around with 4 fully loaded Olympic and CrossFit platforms, Jacob's ladders, Stairmasters, bikes, and ergs. Local Gym and Fitness provides quality trainers to lend their expertise with all your training needs. They're open 7 days a week. Memberships are affordable. So be a local at Local Gym and Fitness. Call them today at 609-545-8732 or go online at localgymandfitness.com.
Purchase message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
Well, it's a patented key ingredient called Testofen. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. It's backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text ROCK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321-321. That's ROCK to 321-321.
Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City is celebrating with a bang for our 5th birthday celebration. This summer, Ocean will be giving away over $5 million in gifts and prizes for Ocean Rewards members to celebrate. The celebration doesn't stop there. Experience weekly fireworks shows every Friday in July, our exclusive birthday bar, and headline entertainment including Ice Cube and Matt Rife. Go to Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City to celebrate our 5th birthday this summer. For the full lineup, visit theoceanac.com/5. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio in Northfield. Billy Schweim, Danny Ryan, the locker room, winding down a Memorial Weekend as we remember those who pay the ultimate sacrifice in keeping us free. And, of course, today we have a very special guest in with us. A surfing sensation, Ben Gravy, is in here with us. And we have a couple more questions real quick for Ben that came over the text board.
Yeah, the most recent one comes from a huge fan. He said, "Yo, Ben, huge fan. Favorite videos of yours are when you surf the waves off the ferry. What was that like? How did you come up with the idea? And what's it like being boys with Jamie O'Brien? LOL. Have a safe trip to Myrtle." Sam from Avalon.
Yeah,
cool, man.
That was a terrifying experience surfing the ferry the first time because I thought I was going to get sucked up into the propeller. I got the idea from an old friend of mine. His name's Scott Barry. He told me about it when I was like 15, and I never did it until I was in my late 20s. But I never went and looked at it. And one day I rolled up and went down there and saw there was a wave, and I was like, "How come no one's ever done this?"
That's cool.
And yeah, being friends with Jamie's cool. He's a nice guy.
So we're not going to give the number. We only got a couple more minutes left. So
Yeah, we got one last text I'll throw in there. It's a pretty short answer for you. Have you ever surfed at the Cove in Cape May, New Jersey?
Yeah, definitely. Big nor'easter. It's kind of my last resort spot, but I'll go down there and ride a couple Dreamers down the line for a while. Super fun. Heavy current. But yeah, it's
I got one last question for you, Ben. Where's the best wave you've ever caught in South Jersey? What's your favorite spot in South Jersey?
I gotta say, El Slamo.
El Slamo.
It fills my heart with joy down there.
There's a reason he made a T-shirt about it. Come on.
Hey, Ben, man, it was really, and to coin a phrase, it was really groovy having you in here.
Yeah, dude, thank you.
I really
very
appreciate
much.
it, man. And, hey, we're down at the coast and people surf here.
Yeah, definitely.
So we do the Beach Patrol report. We talk a little surfing every once in a while. And it was my pleasure to have you in here.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a full honor to be in here. And yeah, if you don't have time to go on YouTube and watch a bunch of videos, I just wanted to say we have a full-length documentary available on Red Bull TV.
Great.
And it's called For the Dream, and it's an hour and a half long, and it tells the whole story, shows all the novelty waves, the 50 states, the whole thing. So thank you for having me, and For the Dream.
All right, man. Hey, I want to thank Danny Ryan producing today. I want to thank former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene for On the Mound with Tommy Greene. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. Let's go Phillies. They play on Sunday Night Baseball. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.
The preceding program was paid for by The Locker Room with Billy Schweim.
Memorial Day on ESPN Radio. Carlos Correa.
Wow.
And the AL Central leading Minnesota Twins head to Houston to face Yordan Alvarez and the Astros.
Hit a ton. Yordan Alvarez.